Hi everyone, it's Marc de Bruin again from Simplifying Life with another installment of my top techniques to deal with uncertainty and anxiety in these interesting COVID-19 and coronavirus times that we're stuck in. It's the 9th of April. We're in the midst of it and we're definitely not out of it yet. What I'd like to discuss today is the default mode network. And you might ask yourself, what the heck is that? Well, let me tell you a story. There are parts of our brain that scientists now say are associated with a sense of me, a sense of my, a sense of I, a sense of identity. And to be really technical, it sort of sits here. The medial prefrontal cortex and another part a little bit further down the back, the anterior cingulate cortex, are, according to latest science, major parts of how we use self-referential processing. So how we think about ourselves, how we think about ourselves relating to the past, how we think about ourselves relating to the future, and also how we think about ourselves relating to our own social environment. So very aptly, it's called the me network. It's about me. Now, that part of our brain comes on generally when we're not doing anything else. So it comes on at night. It's the housekeeper, if you will. It does housekeeping tasks. But it also comes on, broadly speaking, when we feel a strong emotion, when we're not thinking about anything in particular, when we're daydreaming a little bit, it seems to turn on. You can see the activity in there if we would hook you up to a machinery that can measure that. And it also comes on when we feel that we're being challenged in an idea that we have about something. So if our personal visions, views, perspectives, etc. are being challenged by someone else, it comes online as well. So it really has something to do with how we interact with the world and how we see ourselves. It's a broader philosophical question, obviously, though. Do we have a self, or is everything brain related? Do another video on that one another time, which is a bit more philosophical. But the point of this little video is that the default mode network is also, not primarily, but definitely involved in us feeling negative emotions because we're relating ourselves to a better past potentially, or to a better future, or to a potentially worse future, or to potentially worse past. So we relate things backward and forward in time. And the uncertainty, anxiety that we currently feel about COVID-19 and coronavirus and all sorts of other emotions that come with that have a lot to do with how we relate to the world and to other people and to ourselves. So the default mode network is partly responsible for that. It's not entirely responsible, but it's definitely partly responsible. And like I said, it comes online when we're not involved in anything else mentally. So should we focus on something really strongly? Should we be engrossed in a task that requires concentration? If we do things that really catch our focus, then the default mode network switches off. When we become present, it switches off as well, or at least it deactivates somewhat. So there's the tip for today. If you feel that you are being confronted with feelings of anxiety or uncertainty or concern, or like I've used so often, that feeling unsettled in times like these, that's probably my little default mode network, the DMN, my me brain talking, is like, relating to things backwards and forwards and making assumptions and conclusions, what that's going to mean to me. Now, if I can shut that one up, if I can quieten that one a little bit, I will feel less anxious and feel less uncertain. So if you want to help yourself, a really quick tip to feel slightly calmer, slightly less concerned, slightly less anxious, a little bit more at peace with what's going on, you really want to deactivate as much as possible your me network, your default mode network that comes on by default. How do you do that? Well, becoming more present is one, and that's where mindfulness meditation really kicks in and comes into its own. So find one of the mindfulness apps. I'm going to not mention any names because all of them have something good in them. There are ones that are completely free. There are some really good ones that are purely Aussie, so potentially look out for those. And there are some where you can get a free bit and then you have to pay for the rest. I actually don't care which one you take, or just download something off the internet, but start doing your mindfulness meditation. Good exercise to start with, what they call progressive muscle relaxation, PMR, which is not necessarily a mindfulness technique, but it does require concentration. So it puts your focus on something and thereby switches off the default mode network. Another good one is the mindfulness of breath, where you really have to focus on air coming in and out of your nostrils. That's a good one to try. And the other one are the body scanning ones, where you scan your body from top to toe and back up, which requires a lot of concentration if you want to do it well. So those three, PMR, progressive muscle relaxation, mindfulness of breath, and body scanning, really cool exercises that absolutely work to shut that DMN, default mode network, up somewhat. Another one is to do something with gusto. Do it with concentration, whether it's model kits, which I can get involved in, making puzzles, doing some Sudokus, getting involved in some physical activity that really requires your attention. I'm all good with that. They all work because they shut that default mode network up and you will feel better. So there's a tip. Do something to get yourself more present or to get really involved in something that requires your concentration. And I can pretty much promise you, no success guaranteed, but there's a fair bit of chance that you'll feel calmer, better. And if it's physical activity, you'll get the endorphins going as well. So that'll be an extra benefit for you. So try it out. Download a mindfulness app, do some physical activity, get involved in some mindful coloring, music listening, music playing, puzzle making, model kit making, whatever it is. And if you have questions about that, or you want to know more about how that little default mode network works, and you want to get behind the mechanics of it, you know where to find me. Find me on LinkedIn, find me on Facebook, ring me, email me, whatever. And take care and enjoy your day.